Christians never know how to answer an atheist when they ask them, oh, well, if God's real, why do bad things happen? Christians will never know how to actually answer that according to the Bible. And you know what the answer is, Christian women? That God gave us 10 commandments, but he also gave us free will. And he gave us his son that died to give us the spirit of grace that you claim you're saved by. But you accepted that the definition of that grace is lasciviousness, which is unmerited favour. And Yeshua said never to say that when he quoted Jeremiah 23. Don't ever say that it's the Lord's burden, because your words will be your burden. And all the false doctrine that you speak, and this false belief that you have, that is your burden. The spirit of grace is actually God's spirit that he gave us through Yeshua's death to convict us, to bring us back to the 10 commandments. So he gave us those 10 commandments, but he also gave us free will. And you have not offered up a free will offering. You have not offered up the sacrifice of free will to keep and teach the 10 commandments. Because the sacrifice of your lips now, Christians, is supposed to be that you preach people the Holy Covenant that God may sup with them. Because the only people who receive the Holy Spirit is the people who keep the Holy Covenant by the Spirit of grace. That's why you can do all things through Yeshua, who strengthens you with the spirit of conviction. You get convicted, you have faith in the conviction, so you obey the Holy Covenant. That's what it's convicting you to do. When you resist that, you're doing despite under grace. And you know what happens when God's people forsake the Holy Covenant? Great tribulation comes. And before great tribulation, these perilous times come, because people are lovers of their own selves instead of lovers of God, which means 10 commandment keepers. So the next time an atheist asks you why bad things happen, you tell them why. It's because you forsook the 10 commandments, because demons increase when God's people don't keep the 10 commandments. He withdraws from them. This is why Yeshua said that demons are cast out by the finger of God. The finger of God is an idiom for the 10 commandments because he wrote them with his own finger. And to just drive it home, this false, vain imagination of what grace is, you've accepted the Antichrist who now dwells in your temple. And he calls himself Jesus Christ, but he's the lawless one because he taught the whole world through Mystery Babylon to forsake God's holy covenant so he gains intelligence with you. That's in Daniel. So do you forsake the holy covenant, or do you use your free will to obey the spirit of conviction, which is grace that will save you if you obey it? That's what faith is. That's how you receive. The spirit of grace has been given to all mankind. Why would great tribulation come if mankind have all received the spirit of unmerited favor, and it doesn't matter what you do? The spirit of conviction has been given to all. That's why society is even somewhat running right now. You think people are doing bad things right now? Wait until great tribulation hits, when he starts to withdraw that conviction from people. There's never going to be a time like great tribulation. There will never have been a time in history that is like under what it's going to be. It's going to be so depraved. So there's nothing happening on this side of great tribulation more shocking than what people are about to see. And it's because of the Christians. The wrath of God comes upon the children of disobedience to the Holy Covenant. But you accept Jesus Christ, the lawless one that came in his own authority, claiming that we don't have to keep the 10 commandments. We're no longer under the law. But you love to have it so. You get given a strong delusion, the strong delusion of your own salvation, because you received not the love of the truth. This is the same thing. That's 2 Thessalonians 2. That's why you received the spirit of Jesus Christ, the Antichrist spirit of error, because you're lawless. But this is the same thing as Romans 1. You held the truth in unrighteousness. The righteousness of God is keeping and teaching the Holy Covenant. Isaiah 42. Yeshua is going to come and elevate the law and make it honorable. Jehovah is well pleased for his righteousness' sake. The righteousness is always defined as the 10 commandments. That's what he delights in. He delights when we keep the covenant because he can sup with us. And he delights when we teach others the covenant. He didn't delight in the sacrificial law. That's the law we're no longer under. He delights in us telling our neighbor to keep the 10 Commandments. Because when we do that, we spread the kingdom. But instead, Mystery Babylon, through the Spirit of Jesus, have spread lawlessness because they hold the truth in unrighteousness. They hold the truth that Jesus came so they don't have to keep the 10 Commandments. And they are hell-bent for that doctrine. They will literally die for that doctrine. They're zealous, but not according to knowledge. Because the knowledge of God comes when you keep the mercy of God. This is Hosea 6. Yeshua says, I will have mercy and not sacrifice, and the knowledge of God more than burnt offerings. He says, go and learn what this means twice. Did you go and learn what it means?